Hey guys, this is Wingglide Angel Dragon. And, the hell? Did that door not close all the way? Where's my door? Okay. Hey guys, this is Wingglide Angel Dragon, and, earlier, I tried recording, and it's going to be on the blooper reel. I'm going to call it Take One. And anyway, this concludes my visit of my dad's apartment in Alamogordo, New Mexico. And this is my second try to get this to work. And right now I have the tripod connected to my passenger seat, and I also have the seatbelt on it to see if that works. Anyway, I thought of a couple things that I might be able to say regarding the profession or hobby of being a ghost hunter. What is it like being a ghost hunter? Basically, being a ghost hunter, you have all kinds of things that can happen. It can be quite dangerous as well. Basically, what you need to do is to be prepared and to know your stuff when ghost hunting. Here's what you need to do. You need to do your research and always be prepared. Have the equipment on hand. Have other people with you. And all kinds of other stuff as well. You want to always make sure that you wear a cross. Zach Baggins wears a cross. I'm pretty sure that most Sargi may wear a cross as well. And other paranormal investigators as well. And how dangerous can it be facing an entity that you cannot see? Okay, I used to live in a house off Evergreen in Sierra Vista, Arizona that had 3 demons in it. And I lived with these demons for several years until I graduated high school. After that, we ended up having to foreclose the house due to my parents going separate ways. What happened during that time was that my dad was attacked and my mom was attacked. I was scratched. My dad ended up getting really sick from being attacked by demons, and he ended up in the hospital because of it. What you always need to remember is demons are dangerous. They really are dangerous. You can end up badly hurt or even in the hospital from severe illnesses or injuries due to something evil. But also, remember the Word of God. Always have a cross on you, and always have spirit. If you have spirit, then there's nothing you can't do. Always believe in God, and always have more teammates, alright? And another thing, locations, for example. When I went to Lincoln, New Mexico, I did not know anything about the location, but we ended up finding out that Lincoln, New Mexico was one of the areas that Billy the Kid was at. He escaped from Lincoln, New Mexico, and killed several people on the way out, including the deputy sheriff. And there's also a Masonic Hall video. You may have seen that one. It was both a courtroom and a Mason Hall. And that one was actually quite scary. There was a high amount of negative energy in that area. High amounts of energy. And something that basically did not want me there. Something Masonic. Could have been a Mason spirit that was there. Or it could have even been all the traumatic experiences of the town weighing down on me. I'm able to sense energy and feel the environment around me. I guess you can say that I'm a sensitive, but not really an empath, because there's all kinds of people that have different abilities as mediums. Okay, what's the next one on the list? Okay. What's next? Here's a good one. Ways of catching spiritual phenomena. Okay, here's one thing that I'm kind of skeptical about. There is a thing out there called a laser grid, and they believe that by using a laser grid to catch evidence of the paranormal, you're basically trying to use energy, light signature such as laser, with something that's composed of mostly energy and the environment around it. A spirit or even a demon is composed of energy. Basically, trying to use light against energy is like trying to toss water against water. Try to get something to happen. It's not going to happen. And other things like this. Here's some of the equipment you will need if you actually want to become a paranormal investigator. You'll want a camera, a voice recorder, and an EMF detector as your three main things. EMF detector says amounts of energy. If an energy level gets beyond a certain point, I will not stress this enough, you need to leave. Here's another thing. Do not try to beckon and challenge spirits. Zach Baggins is a professional, and you should not try that at home. Beckoning and challenging a spirit can in turn cause you to be in danger. Basically, I can't stress it enough because I've seen people get hurt. Also, different locations such as Fort Staten, Lincoln, and even Cloudcroft have different histories. For example, Rebecca was a spirit of a hostess whose husband had been gone forever, and her husband was a logger, or as some may say, a lumberjack. Basically, after being gone for so long, he returned to find out that Rebecca had found another husband. And he brought her into the Lincoln National Forest, as it's known as now, to argue with her. When they didn't get along, he ended up using his axe against her, killing her, and then dismembered her. This is the story that we've got so far. And when I was in the Lincoln National Forest, I decided to use the SB7 Spirit Box to try to discover anything. I ended up hearing the sounds of a train going across, kind of like a train horn, and I heard several different voices. One may have been Rebecca, since it was a female spirit voice, and there were two male voices within that area. Other things you got to be careful of is environment. You always want to watch your surroundings. There are some places that may have things such as loose wood. It could be loose wood, it could be an old well, it could be anything. When you're in the dark, you can't really see your environment. As I said earlier, about demons. Here's a couple signs that you can know to know that there's a demon attacking. For example, these are the ones mentioned on the Demon Files or something like that, and these are 3 scratches, 3 knocks. It always comes in 3s. Why is this? Because 6 is a component of 3 in my belief. not sure about the counts of threes, but it's always in three. That's a sign of a demonic presence. Here's another thing. You do not want to mess with cursed objects, haunted dolls, Dybbuk boxes, whatever. You do not want to mess with these because these can be incredibly dangerous. And with Annabelle, for example, in the Zak Bagans show Ghost Adventures, the one where he has his haunted museum, they brought Annabelle in, and she tried to control him. She tried to hypnotize him into touching her so that she could possess him. This happened, and the owner of Annabelle stepped in and took her away for the very reason that Zak Bagans could have been badly hurt or even killed. Near the end of the episode, you actually could see that Zak Bagans was almost struck by lightning as the result of her. Or maybe it was was Robert, but you see my point. Anything that's possessed is dangerous. Any items that are attached to by spirits, demons, otherwise, dangerous. Okay, anyway, that's it for the whole paranormal investigation part, but there's another thing that you might need to know. I may be stopping by Adobe Deli for a second, and I will actually introduce you to the owners and everything at the location, and show you the different haunted places within Adobe Deli, like the library and the main area where the restaurant is. I mean, I may order a drink, like a soda or something, so that I can actually patrol around that area. As long as I order one thing at least, they will allow me to walk around and everything. Basically, the Adobe Deli has had stuff move, like they had animals and stuff, crocodiles, like all kinds of mounted animals that are on the walls and everything. And if you actually look back at my video, or look at some of the pictures that I have taken, you might actually end up seeing what looks to be a spirit above the landing where the bar would be. My belief is that this is actually the spirit of the former teacher of the schoolhouse that Adobe Deli used to be. And the reason I'm saying this is important is because if you're an amateur ghost hunter and you don't have experience with investigating locations and keeping yourself safe, always have a team with you, someone who's experienced, at least within the group. You need to have people that know how to run your devices. That way you don't have any bad moments like that. Basically, anything that can happen will happen in a paranormal investigation. You can have people collapse from lack of energy. Spirits can actually absorb the energy around them, from people, from devices, and from the air, to help themselves manifest. There are a few places where Zak and his team, or even the Ghost Hunters team, have actually had their members feel weak or even pass out. On Museum of Madness, this was an episode from Zak's Haunted Collection, or as you've seen on Ghost Adventures, where he had several expert paranormal investigators in different parts of the museum, and there was one person who was looking at the Bela Lugosi cursed mirror. Now, basically, what happened with him is he tried to do some kind of ritual or spell to make the spirit leave the mirror. And this happening, he actually ended up feeling weak and he fell onto the floor, and you could see his head go bounce on the floor. Why do I mention these episodes in reference to Zak Bagans and Jason Hawes' team and even several others? Is because they are good references, good people, and they are experts. These are things you need to know to keep yourself safe. That way you don't end up like, well, I know I shouldn't bring this up, but this happened many years back, and it was at a place known as the Demon House. These two people were the friends of Zak Bagans' Ghost Adventures team, and I believe they were also friends with Jason Hawes and Taps. But basically, these two went alone into the Demon House, and the husband was possessed. And this, whatever possessed him made him attack his wife and kill her, and then himself. The reason I don't really have amateurs or anything on my team, or people that want to do certain activities like open portals and do rituals or even bring spirit boards, is because I want to make sure that everyone's safe and that nobody gets hurt. And I know that Zak Bagans and the Ghost Adventures crew, as well as the TAPS investigators, will all agree on this. We stay away from that stuff because we don't want people getting hurt. We don't want to cause something that's worse than what's already going on in a location. Alright? And I have been to several locations. I've been to the Lincoln Historic Town, which is now a ghost town that's being used as a big museum. I've been to Fort Staten, which used to be an operational fort back in the World War and otherwise. In the World War, it was used as an internment camp for civilian German sailors and Japanese American citizens. And the fort was also operational during the Apache Wars between cavalry and the Native Americans. And another place was the Cloudcroft Lodge Resort. This place is an original building that was built originally in the 1900s, and the original building caught on fire. And Rebecca is said to reside within the new building because the tower at the top is made with the original materials. And when I was up there just recently, you can click on that video in my channel videos section, Cloudcroft Tower. You'll actually end up finding out that Rebecca is now not the only spirit residing with the hotel. I recently, when I finished doing that video, I asked the clerk up front about it, and I found out that not too recently, a male tenant actually did die in his hotel room. And I believe that the spirit that is now residing in the same location as Rebecca may actually be the tenant that died in that room. And I think it's pretty important to note that. Also, guys, I'm also thinking of doing another video where I go to Forget About It Pizza, the authentic Italian restaurant in Deming, and I will actually ask the owners if I can record there of me trying out the food. I'm going to try out the Grandmama's pizza and the cannoli. I'm I'm going to try anything that I really can. I want to try the pizza. I want to try the appetizers, the garlic bread, and I also want to try the cannoli. Because you can't go to an Italian place without trying cannoli, basically. And I will see you guys once I get to the next location. I hope you enjoyed this video. For now, until I see you in the next video, have a great day.